This is Geoffrey Hardwin. Welcome to a commentary on my experience from the two campaigns from the Imperator Augustus campaign pack. Now, the first campaign, Antony's Rome campaign, was on hard, and there were no hard battles. When I look back on it, I probably did not lose a single legionary cohort in the entire campaign. I only lost maybe some light spearmen, I lost some cavalry, I lost some light ships, but I did not lose a general in battle, and I did not lose a legionary unit, of which there were many. And looking back on the Pompey's Rome campaign so far, the same applies. There was no general killed in battle, there was no legion destroyed, there was no legionary cohort destroyed. The only losses were in some light spearmen units and light ships. And even there, the losses were minimal. I hardly lost a single unit. Now, the second campaign, the Pompey's Rome campaign, is on very hard. And somewhat exasperated at this, I played a battle in nightmare mode with battle realism, which I have posted already. And in that battle, again, I did not lose a single unit. I did not even lose the spearmen. The total losses were 51 men. And it is not just that the AI cannot effectively fight battles. The main problems are at the campaign level. The battle AI and the campaign AI work, they're not broken, but they are not really a challenge. However, at the campaign level, things could probably be improved easily, and here are the problems. The first problem is the way Creative Assembly codes the campaign AI. Now, I only have experience from Medieval 2, but I think the situation is similar with Rome 2 and most other games. What the AI does is it calculates the military strength of one of its own stacks against the military strength of a nearby enemy stack. In the case of Rome 2, that might include also the garrison if the enemy stack is in a settlement. And if the AI stack is about 1.5 times stronger than the human player, then the AI attacks the human player. Now, you can imagine that in Rome 2, the human player will be very careful in putting together strong legions before he goes on campaign. So he's going to have, let's say, a legion with 10 legionary cohorts in it and heavy cavalry and so on. If that legion is in a settlement, the AI cannot possibly, conceivably, have an army, a single stack that's as strong, 1.5 times stronger than the human player. It's almost an impossibility. So that's problem number one. Now, what could happen is that there may be two stacks in the vicinity, and if one of them attacks, the other one will reinforce, and so we have a joint force that could take on the human player. You still need to have 1.5 times roundabout the strength of the human player to even attack. So that would make still a slim chance this would happen. What that does not take into account is another problem. That's problem number 2. Problem number 2 is that in medieval 2, when we are modding, we can mod what types of units the AI will recruit, and there will be a kind of priority list. So we want the AI to be a challenge, and so we can mod the AI so that it first has as a priority to recruit heavy cavalry in medieval 2, then heavy infantry, then maybe heavy pikemen, and so on. And when these units are not available, perhaps early in the campaign or in some settlements, then it will look for lighter units, but it will generally avoid recruiting levies and levy spearmen and militia and levy archers and things like that. This doesn't happen in Rome 2. Most of the AI stacks I have so far fought against, even late in the campaign, were ridiculous Eastern spearmen, levies, vigiles. The lightest units available to a faction were filling up all the slots in those stacks. So even if there are 2 stacks, let's say, against a near friendly settlement where you have a legion and the garrison together, those 2 stacks are going to be full of levies and silly spearmen of the lowest level, and they're still not going to have together 1.5 times the strength of the human player. Now, if you have 3 stacks, if you have 4 stacks, that's a different story. But what are the chances of this, that the AI will end up with 4 stacks in the same place? Then comes the third problem, that the AI will attack the nearest thing. It will not bypass a settlement to attack, let's say, the most powerful legion of the human player. It will attack the settlement first. Now, what the human player can do is, if he sees that there are 4 stacks in the vicinity, he falls back from that settlement, and he falls back from another settlement or something. And so then the AI thinks, oh, it's a silly settlement, it has a light garrison, a couple of vigiles or whatever, so I don't need 4 legions to take that. I can send 1 legion here, I can send 1 legion there, I can take the other legions somewhere else, and instantly, as soon as you do that, the AI scatters its 4 legions or 5 legions or 6 legions. There are 2 examples of this in the campaign, the Pompey-Rome campaign. This is what inspired me to make this video. First, when Pompey took Rome, the AI had 3 stacks near Rome, and although they were attacked by my agents and they suffered some casualties, that was still numerically vastly superior to the legion of Pompey. There were probably 4 or 5 times as many men in those 3 stacks. However, those stacks together did not have the strength of Pompey's single legion. And so they were full of silly spearmen and silly archers, whatever, sort of the lightest units the AI could assemble. And so they did not take Rome. They did not attack Rome, so they went back, so they left 1 stack somewhere on its own in a camp. It was completely obliterated by Pompey's legion the next turn. Everything was in that legion. Everything Pompey had was put in that legion. There was no fallback legion. There were no fallback armies. There was some couple of generals with 1 unit each or something. There was just nothing other than Pompey's legion at this stage. And the AI just let him live. Ridiculous. I mean, the AI controls the entire month and let him live. And this is the other thing. I was playing on very hard, and fairly early in the campaign, I had offers of alliance. I had offers of alliance from Mark Antony and all his vassals. And halfway, through whatever it was, like the first 10 years, like the first 5 years or something, I had already half the map allied to me. and I was playing on very hard. I mean, these are AI factions. They should be fighting me on very hard. They should be allying with me. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Refuse an alliance? I mean, this is the AI's business not to ally with me. And the other thing was that, sure, I had a powerful legion in Rome, but that was all I had at that point. There was nothing in Corsica. There was nothing in Sardinia. I think I had a general with 1 or 2 units, maybe some ships, if that. There was almost nothing in Sicily. There was another general with 1 unit and some ships. I mean, there was nothing anywhere else. There was nothing in Placentia. There was nothing in Brundisium. I mean, they could have sent a fleet and with an army and taken everything from me. And they didn't just have one fleet and an army. The AI has the entire map. And he did nothing. This is all very hard. This is ridiculous. And the second example that you saw was the example when I was with 1 legion with Pompey in Genua and a 2nd legion with another general in Patavium. And these were again the only 2 legions I basically had. There was a 3rd legion in Salona that was a weaker legion, it had only a few units, and there was a fleet in Salona. And so these were my 3 legions. And they were at the frontier. Of course, all the other cities of control were empty of armies except their garrisons. They could have been invaded by sea, nothing happened. And I had on the land frontier, I had 3 legions. And the AI appeared with Octavian, just Octavian's faction appeared with 6 armies. 6 armies. And those 6 armies were close together. And instead of attacking at least one of my legions, they went ahead and attacked some settlements that I abandoned. Now, those settlements had only weak garrisons because they had just been captured. And so the AI thought that I don't need 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 legions to take one of these settlements. I just need 1 weak legion. So they sent 1 weak legion to take Genua, a 2nd weak legion to take Patavium. They were left with 4 legions. So they sent 4 legions in the way of Salona, where there was a strong garrison. The 2 legions that had retreated from Genua and Patavium were laying in ambush. So now they were in ambush and facing a threat from a single legion each. And these 2 legions of Octavian marched on. They fell into ambush and they were destroyed completely. And now, from a situation where previously I was facing 6 legions in northern Italy, now northern Italy was open. There was nothing in northern Italy. The other 4 legions had marched off the way to Salona. They were attacked by some spies, and they decided not to go towards Salona for whatever reason, because now their entire Gaul and northern Italy were open to my attacks and so on. So they got stalled somewhere. They were doing nothing, and eventually they just petered out of existence without fighting a battle, just being destroyed by spies and heroes. A very sad thing to see the AI fighting so badly, or campaigning so badly. And so it would have been easy to fix these things, I believe. First of all, give priority for the AI to recruit good units, heavy infantry and good cavalry and so on. Then don't have this necessity to need huge armies to attack the human player. If you have a little bit of superiority, that would still cause some damage. Then just attack. Don't waste time. Attack with a good legion with a small superiority. It's good enough. And why just concentrate on some silly settlements somewhere when there are good settlements, entire islands, rich territories which are unguarded, when the AI has so many stacks around the map and the human player only has 2 or 3 good stacks? Why not attack those 2 or 3 good stats with everything the AI has? And of course, in the end, diplomacy. Why on very hard should the human player be having alliances, any kind of alliance? Why? It's supposed to be very hard. There's no reason for it. Thank you for listening.